Apologies in advance if my voice comes across as rougher than it was last chapter, especially as we delve into this next chapter. I broke into a coughing fit after last video. Had to take a break. Did a bunch of yard work this morning. It was still relatively cool outside. Advanced the Grimith Wasp conflict of 2019. Every year there's more of those bastards. Filled up more squirrel feeders that the birds also use. There's also a fox that roams around this area. Good times. And mowed the lawn. Plant sex is no longer in the air, but plant matter after mowing the lawn. Tending to a few flowers. Certainly is. So, yeah. Great. Let's go. We're gonna stay away from the Hero Project contestant files due to my feelings. I might have that as like a bonus thing at like the end. Yeah, that sounds right. A bonus thing for not now. Part 2, Step and Repeat. Chapter 6, Burning Bridges. Do I have something on my face, Lucky says, smirking at you from behind a newspaper. You snap your head away, trying not to turn red. You didn't mean to stare, but she just looks so familiar. I'm sorry, but have we met before? You ask. I was wondering when you get around to that. You and Lucky are stationed on a lookout for your first Hero Project real-world mission, sitting outside a bodega near Manhattan's 42nd Street. Getting to be in New York would be much more exciting for you if you weren't forced to stay on this corner, dressed in civilian clothes over your costumes to appear anonymous. You're lucky I'm not offended you forgot me, Lucky says, traces of her southern accent slipping through. She's about to go on, but instead glances up at a pigeon sitting on a nearby power line. You both know those are actually camera orbs. Pigeon camera orbs. Neat. It's fine, you say, looking over Lucky's maskless face. Neither of us are doing the secret identity thing, right? Lucky nods, looking distracted, which is understandable, since Gigi suddenly chirps in the earpiece, connecting you to the producers and judges of Mission Control. Dumplings, do remember not to make eye contact with or refer to our pigeon as friends. Many thanks. You look to Lucky and she grins. Looks like we're already getting ourselves in trouble. Smiling back, your heart skips a beat. Something about Lucky is so damn charming. Anyway, remember Little Big Hero Camp? The moment Lucky says this, your mind flashes to your sleepaway camp, which is for kids who wanted to be heroes when they grew up. You went there every summer before your parents were imprisoned. It was one of your favorite places, set on rustic lakeside campground, a country club estate, a satellite complex orbiting the Earth, college campus, or an island resort in the Bahamas. We're gonna pick the satellite complex. It sounds the coolest. I mean, this is cool, but it's also hot, right? Island resort in the Bahamas is gonna be fucking hot. Like, you know. Aha. But that's not the only thing that pops in your mind. Immediately you remember Little Big Hero was the place where you met the biggest crush of your childhood. 3 unisex names. Well done, game. Well done. Well done, Zachary, I should say. Or insert my crush's first name. I like Blake. We'll go with Blake. Blake Smith. You were head over heels for Blake from the moment you saw her. Athletic, funny, smart, and friendly, she was the coolest kid at camp, despite having to be there on full scholarship. Blake's single mother couldn't afford to send her, the oldest of 6 kids, to the ritzy camp. Even though Blake wasn't one of the rich kids like the rest of you, it seemed she was still friends with everyone. She just had a personality that transcended all the adolescent social nonsense. It probably didn't hurt that she was very, very cute. You were lying in your bunk for weeks, trying to figure out a way to hang out with Blake alone. And then it happened. Out of nowhere, Blake asked you to the end of summer dance as her date. She was the first girl to ever ask you out like that. There was just something about Blake. She was so sure of herself. That dance with Blake was one of the best nights of your life, especially since it ended with your very first kiss. But it was later that same year that your parents were sent into the void. Once you moved to the Eastern Fringes, Grandma couldn't afford to send you back to Little Big Hero. So that summer was the last time you ever saw Blake. Until now. Blake? You blurt out. Hey, aren't we supposed to be staying incognito here, Lucky says? But it's good to see you again too, Grimith. You can hardly believe it. Blake looks exactly like she used to. Though now she wears a tight red costume showing off a very grown-up body. You should have recognized her, but there's a lot from your lost life that just became too painful to dwell on after a while. I think it's understandable why our character would forget after everything that happened with the parents, with Prodigal, fucking there's a lot of shit that happened. But now it makes total sense why you are so drawn to Lucky, and why you find her so attractive. You have a million questions, but first you decide that you want to... Okay, this is, Flirt, friendly and professional, keep my distance. Don't think I'm interested in Lucky, be respectful, my girlfriend, black magic. Let's just keep things friendly and professional, it always works, right? Right? Yeah, let's just keep things friendly and professional. We don't want to, like, shut her out, you know? Just reconnect. Well, whatever happens, happened, right? uh, yeah. I can't believe it's really you. I have to admit, I've been following your story, Lucky says. I wanted to reach out, but I never knew quite what to say. I know what it must have been like for you. And there really isn't anything to say, is there? You watch as Lucky's face falls, and you remember that her birth mother died while having her. Lucky was raised by her second mom, who was married to her birth mother. Still, Lucky knows exactly what it's like to lose a parent. You and Lucky make eye contact, and you feel warm inside, like somehow, despite all the years apart, Blake has been your best friend forever. Holy slugger, that's the ineffable, Pedestrian shouts, pointing you out to her friend. And you're Lucky from the Hero Project. Oh my god, are you filming now? We're the hugest fans. The two women suddenly run up to you and Lucky, shaking with excitement. The Hero Project is my favorite show. What's pleasure? I have to call it. What are you doing in the city? As the women ramble over each other, you turn to Lucky, and she looks absolutely stunned. You've gotten used to the occasional fan recognizing you by now, but you can tell this is brand new for Lucky. She just blinks, totally overwhelmed. Remove yourselves now, you've been compromised. You hear Rebellion's voice come through your earpiece from Mission Control. Knowing Lucky has heard this too, you stand up. I'm afraid we have to... Before you can finish, a group of teenagers emerge from a nearby subway exit. One of them notices the commotion and immediately recognizes you. Hey, they're on the Hero Project! The next thing you know, a crowd begins to form around you, growing larger as people stream out of the busy rush hour subway. Oh, the grass so hot, prodigal, what is it? You can't quite grasp what's happening as the crowd swarms you. You've been sequestered for the week after making the final 14, so this is your first time out in public since the show aired. Which makes... This is... What? Which means this is completely insane. Just how famous are you now? Get out of there now! Rebellion shouts to your earpiece. You look over at Lucky and she just smiles from ear to ear, completely dumbstruck by the strangers fawning over her. Sorry folks, duty calls, you announce as you grab Lucky and pull her close. Once you have a tight grip, you lift off the ground and climb through the air. As you hover above the crowd, you can feel Lucky's warm body pressed against your own, her breath on your neck. It sends a wave of chills through you. Couldn't you have just used your gravity powers to lift me? Lucky says as you take off across the street. You blush, but that thought quickly fades as an explosion booms through the air from several blocks away. You feel Lucky tense and your nerves light up. Get to the target point now! We are a go! 2 hours earlier. You sit strapped into your chair in the Hero Project transport, which is one of the finest luxury hoverjets money can buy, trying your best to fight the nausea rumbling through your stomach. You close your eyes and swallow hard as the judges continue their debrief. Our joint agency intelligence suggests that Kulik's next attack will be focused on one of Manhattan's major underground tunnels, Dmitriev explains. So for your first Hero Project real-world mission, we're deploying you in 2 teams to prevent his attack. Remember, the American Protectorate will be a confederation of solo heroes working together as a team to face big threats. So this is the model we're using for today's mission. You look at the panel of judges, displayed holographically from the mission control room at the Hero Project headquarters, and are in awe that you're part of such an important operation. After the bridge attack last week, the Infra Order was marked as one of the highest national security threats. As horrible as the Millennia City commuter train attacks were, they were fairly run-of-the-mill for a major powered city. These attacks in no way hinted at the level of power or planning necessary for the New York City attack. The authorities are still working to figure out how he pulled off a terrorist strike of that magnitude. To save face and demonstrate exactly why a team like the American Protectorate is necessary, the government tasked the finalists of the Hero Project with stopping this threat. A hopefully very public solution to the problem. And one that you can tell has Rexford practically salivating. He couldn't have cooked up a bigger or better set of missions for his fledgling show if he tried. How do you feel about being involved in such a high-profile mission? Give me a moment, I gotta reach for my other water bottle. Right, so, how do you feel about being involved in such a high-profile mission? Exactly the level of hero work I was born to handle. Pressure's almost too much. It's scary, but great publicity. Excited. Can't wait to work with the other hero finalists. I can't wait to show everyone that I'm the only true star here. I mean, I am the star. This was the level of hero work I was born to handle, but make no mistake. This fame manster. This fame manster? Oh my god. Oh, shit. I am the one true star. We hope you've all studied the files in the infra order in preparation for this strike. Rebellion says you had to resist the urge to laugh because it makes it sound like you had a choice. GG hovered over your shoulder for an hour last night. We forced you to review the files in the infra order 3 times. You could practically recite the information by heart, so you think back to the basic information here, knowing that GG made you save the full infra order rundown to the show stat screen on your mead ship just in case. Let's review the mastermind here. Speedy. Smither? Smither? Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Another blast from the past. I completely forgot all about Spy Circle until I saw that damn name. Okay. Little Jagged. Little J. And Clef. I've got this information down, Pat. It took you several minutes to get over the fact that Smither appears to be alive and well. Technically, it was Prodigal who was responsible for his near-death experience, but you doubt a criminal like Smither is sophisticated enough to differentiate. He now ranks at the top of your most dangerous enemies list for sure, especially since he has decided to move beyond petty crime and take on a terrorist agenda. How will eliminations work? Fumble interrupts from across the transport. Hold on, a producer says from near the cockpit. We hit a bump. Fumble, can you repeat that for sound? Sure. How will eliminations work? Your leaderboard scores have been reset, and we judges will be calculating a brand new leaderboard score throughout this mission. Your scores will factor heavily into the elimination, as you can see by reviewing the official elimination rules, which have been uploaded to your meat chips. You take a second to read the elimination rules page quickly, knowing it has also been stored in your meat chip show stat screen if you ever need a refresher. The Hero Project Leaderboard Elimination Rules. The judges will assign individual leaderboard scores to each finalist based on their mission performance. Finalists will be broken into 2 teams for each mission. We have 14 people, 2 teams, 7 each. Team with the highest combined leaderboard score will win immunity and be safe from all eliminations for that week. Directly after the mission, the finalist with the lowest leaderboard score on the losing team will be eliminated. So even if you were trash, if you were on the winning team, you're safe. There's also going to be a contestant vote. Contestant vote. Once finished, you look around the hangar at Team 2's roster. Fumble, Stage Show, Lucky, Mock Girl, Wintry, Scoundrel, and you. You've been tasked with patrolling Midtown Tunnel, while the other 7 finalists on Team 1 will be patrolling the Lincoln Tunnel. You are all also tasked with individual solo missions until it becomes necessary for you to work together as a team. The judges will be monitoring and commanding this operation from Mission Control, Rebellion says with an edge in his voice. Obviously, he isn't thrilled about being relegated to the judges' bench for such a high-profile mission. But who would like to volunteer as Team 2's field captain, my second in command for this mission? Everyone looks around the hangar, and you can already tell that Fumble is going to volunteer. What do you think? Being captain will be hella high risk, high reward. Meachip J2 appears, operating on the warning system. You could rack up the highest leaderboard score as Cap, but you can also jank up and score the lowest. We're not fucking volunteering. Yeah. Yeah, let's just, Fumble can be Cap. That's fine. I volunteer, Fumble says, raising his hand. Does anyone on the team oppose Fumble's bid for field captain, Rebellion asks. You look around. Most of the heroes on this team are amateurs, so it makes sense they wouldn't want to stick their necks out quite yet. Great. You are all to follow orders as directed from Mission Control, but Fumble is the official field captain in all other situations, so defer to his leadership. Best of luck, heroes, Rebellion says, signing off. Now, protect our proud nation. As the screen cuts out, you all breathe a little easier, even though camera orbs still film you from all sides. You've noticed that the cameras are already starting to fade into the background to you. A thought that is as scary as it is relieving. You turn to see Scoundrel grooming her feathers on the seat next to you. You've been meaning to talk to her ever since you both made the final 14. You even stopped by her room in the contestant mansion, which was more like a twiggy nest than an actual room, but she wasn't there. Looks like now is your chance to have a chat with your fellow fringe resident. Bond over the eastern fringes, tell her I'm happy to look out for her, why is she here at the Hero Project, make a Thanksgiving joke, or make fun of Scoundrel to ruffle her feathers. Tell me more about Scoundrel. You know, that doesn't really sound like our character. Like, we were in the fringes based, like, after our parents got sent to the void. But, we certainly had opportunities. And, we certainly weren't poor before that. And do I really fucking care? That's what's most important. Do I give a damn? Bond over the eastern fringes, tell her I'm happy to look out for her. Ask Scoundrel what she's here at the Hero Project. Make a Thanksgiving joke to break the ice. Make fun of Scoundrel to ruffle her feathers. We already know why she's here at the Hero Project thanks to the stats there. I really feel like bonding is appropriate. This is like patronizing and douchebaggy, even though that's not how gonna be how it's interpreted in game. That's how I'm reading it. Make a Thanksgiving joke to break the ice. Make fun of Scoundrel. Let's I don't like any of these. Ah. Okay. What's the least worst option? Take into account my strategy. Who does anything possible to win. Might as well get a drink since I'm in contemplation. We certainly don't live in the fringes anymore. I just feel it's disingenuous to bond over the place. What brings you here? Because the people from the fringes need someone to look up to, Scoundrel says, her beady turkey eyes looking you up and down. Right. Well, best of luck then, you say. At least you tried. 2 hours later. With Lucky in your arms, you rush towards the explosion, which came from the entrance of the Midtown Tunnel, and when you arrive, what you see makes your blood run cold. The entrance of the tunnel has caved in, blocked with rubble from an explosion. Your mind immediately flashes to all those cars and buses now trapped inside, filled with passengers. Over there! Lucky yells, pointing towards the rest of Team 2 gathering on a ramp near the entrance. Military personnel and the NYPD have already surged onto the scene, clearing the area of pedestrians as quickly as possible, so you can do your job. They're also there to clear the area of other heroes and serve as backup. The government really wants the Hero Project to succeed. They're not taking any chances you'll fail either. You fly towards the assemblage of heroes, just as Mock Girl flashes to the ground holding Wintry, landing from a super-fast flight. Stage Show and Scoundrel already huddle around Fumble, waiting orders. Kulik and the Infra Order are attacking the Midtown Tunnel, Rebellion reports in your ears right on cue. They've collapsed the Manhattan entrance, and we believe they plan to flood the tunnel after collapsing the Queen's entrance. Team 1 is en route, or en route if you prefer, but it's up to Team 2 to stop Kulik from flooding the tunnel. Heroes, take them out and bring these terrorists in. You experience a sudden flash of fear despite yourself. You're about to go against a cadre of world-class powered terrorists, one of whom nearly killed you on your first mission as a hero. Seemed unbeatable then? Now he's not even the one in charge. He's a lackey. But then you check yourself, because you're not the same hero you were back then either. You've been to hell and back, and now's your chance to prove that you're world-class too. Once Rebellion cuts out, all the heroes turn to look at Fumble. The first order of business will be figuring out how to get the entire team across the river to stop the mastermind from collapsing the other entrance, then find a way to take him down. Listen up, team, we have to open up this side of the tunnel, Lucky blurts out. It will only take us a minute, then we can go after him. Rebellion's orders were to, if we open up, we will save lives no matter what. We have to, now. Your mind begins to race. Lucky has a point. Those trapped people deserve a fighting chance to make it out before the tunnel starts flooding. But you might be able to stop that from happening in the first place if you find Kulik, though that's quite the gamble. The ineffable GG's voice suddenly comes alive in your ear. I think you should follow orders. Rebellion knows what he's doing. Screw this, Scoundrel says out of nowhere. Before anyone can stop her, she shoots towards the river and launches into the air. She can't fly very well, but she can coast long enough to make it across. You hope. Slugger, you remember what it was like on your first heroic mission, thinking you knew it all and jumping in before thinking. We just hope Scoundrel doesn't ruin things for the rest of you, or Slugger forbid, get anyone killed. Yo, Sloot, I couldn't tell you which way this is gonna go. Each of J2 appears operating the warning system, but let me tell you this, stick to your strategy and don't be passive and you'll probs get rewarded. We're following Rebellion's orders to stop Kulik, Humble says in his most commanding voice, ignoring Lucky and Scoundrel's insubordination. Now we have to. Before he can finish, Lucky turns to the rubble. I'm saving lives. Who's with me? Within seconds, Mock Girl and Winfrey both follow Lucky towards the entrance to open it up. Slugger. We're still taking down Kulik. You with us? You look from Lucky to Fumble. You've got a decision to make. Okay, the warning system tells us to stick to our strategy of doing whatever it takes to win no matter what. Don't be passive. So I don't want to stick with these assholes. No, we're doing something because we want to, not to stick with people. Save lives, it's the right thing to do. Stop Kulik because that's what the producers and judges want. You can outshine everyone else and save the day. It's what the producers and judges want. That's what they want. Let's do it, because it's what they want. We're here to win, no matter what. Fuck these people. I mean, tragic loss of life. It's, yeah. Get ready. I'm Grav lifting us all across the river. Minutes later. Touching down on the Queen's side of the East River, you try not to focus on the fact that carrying Fumble and Stage Show is like handling 2 walls of solid muscle. Luckily, your attention is immediately drawn to the tunnel entrance, which has also been collapsed on this side. That entrance just came down. Kulik can't be too far, Stage Show says. Agreeing, you scan the perimeter and spot Scoundrel's body lying limp in the rubble. And panting next door is Speedy, torn and bloody from what must have been a scrap with Scoundrel. Spotting you at the same time, he turns to make a run for it as fast as his sloth like... What? What? It's a fucking ironic name. Nice. 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 Slugger, that's him! Fumble shouts, pointing away towards the river. You spin to find Kulik and the rest of the Infra Order riding across the water in what appears to be some kind of advanced submarine drill. What? Where the slugger is he getting this kind of tech? You're not sure what's more terrifying, the sight of the Mastermind's grotesque mosquito head, or the sight of Smither, alive and not so well. Most of his skin has been badly burned. It looks like he didn't escape your last encounter totally unscathed. Fumble grabs Stage Show and crouches down, gearing up for a jump. Before you can say a word, Fumble leaps into the air with Stage Show, shooting way further than you ever thought he could. As Stage Show's laser lights streak across the sky, you need to decide how to get into the game. This is bound to be one of the most dangerous battles of your career, not to mention the most televised. And the first one is the Heroologist's warning about your Infinity powers. So, no pressure. We're not here to follow someone's lead. Let's stay behind and take down Speedy. Let's grab a member of the Infra Order. Or try to. I like to think. Trying to do like an artillery strike from the shoreline. We're trying to like rush in with those two. No, let's do this. This is our own thing. We're being independent. You turn back towards Speedy just as Team 1's Hero Project transport jets onto the scene. Good. They can handle Kulik while you bring in Speedy. Though right now he's breaking away towards a sewer entrance, swinging with his hook hands. Whatever you do, don't use those jacked up Infinity powers. Go with the sure thing. Alright, we're gonna blast Speedy before he gets too far. We're not gonna use our gravity powers. Thanks, J2. You raise your hands. Sorry. Just had a moment there. You raise your hands and rattle off a strong purple blast, but Speedy swings up and the shot just misses underneath him. Cursing, you decide to double the blast radius. Speedy isn't getting away, not on your watch. You grind your teeth and shoot another blast, this one much wider than the last, and it catches Speedy in the back just as he's lifting the manhole cover off of a sewer entrance. Without wasting a second, you fly towards Speedy to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And as you do, you can't help but feel a rush of excitement. You just took down one of America's most wanted, powered terrorists. With Speedy restrained, you turn to find all the other Hero Project finalists returning to the shore. Kulik and the others escaped, Fumble says, the anger in his voice unhidden. Turns out little Jagged has some refractive teleportation powers no one knew about. But everyone's faces light up when they see Speedy's unconscious body. 1 hour later. You stand with Team 2 on a platform erected on top of a riverside helipad, constructed by the Hero Project production staff since the mission. I fucked up that reading of that sentence. Whatever. Team 1 stands on the other end of the platform with Colton at its center, reading over his script while someone puts last-minute touches on his neck makeup. After the mission wrap-up, official debriefs, and a few interviews, you are told to gather for the first elimination, since the first finals episode airs later tonight. Do you think you've done enough to make it to the next... I fucking yes! Of course I did! I'm here with the Hero Project finalist after the smashing success of our first mission. Colton starts, camera orbs circling him. A large crowd of onlookers has gathered at the base of the helipad stage, many of them survivors from the tunnel who stuck around to give testimonials for the show. Although disgusting mosquito face and his abominable infra order managed to escape like the cowards they are, our finalists thwarted this attack without a single life lost. The crowd immediately burst into cheers. Standing next to you, Mock Girl squeezes your arm. This is the best day of my life, she whispers, just as she shares an excited smile with Wintry. And you have to admit she's not exactly wrong. I have also been cleared to release the following information, Colton says, building in one of his trademark dramatic pauses. The infra-order terrorist known as Speedy has been taken into custody. A stunning victory we hope will lead to further intelligence on Killick's future plans. All eyes then swivel to you, because you're the one that made that happen. Which is obviously a very big deal. All in all, this mission demonstrates that the American Protector will be a team capable of defending this great nation from its most heinous threats within and without, from sea to shining sea. Once again, the audience burst into applause at Colton's sing-song end, oddly roused by Colton despite his blatant cheesiness. And on the holographically projected judges panel, Rexford looks like he might explode with pride. Still, you let the applause wash over you. Getting this kind of recognition for saving lives is exactly why you chose to be a hero. You can't imagine it gets much better than this. Wanting to share this moment you turned to wink at? No, Lucky, black magic, the camera? No one. This moment is all about you. We'll wink at the camera. Yeah. All these camera orbs, they're not hidden in pigeons. Just wink at the camera. Sure enough, a camera orb swivels in your direction to catch the moment. Hello, fans. However, in order to create the best team possible for our great nation, the competition must continue, which means that right now, I'm tasked with the unpleasant obligation of making our very first cut. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop after this chapter. Woo, I'd hope to get more done today. Let's not push the throat. Which means that right now I'm tasked with the unpleasant obligation of making our very first cut. That's right, we're about to lose one of our incredible Final 14. You feel everyone on the stage tense, and you have to brace yourself, because no one wants to go home. Not after a day like this. The judges have assigned individual leaderboard scores to each finalist based on their actions during this mission. The team with the highest combined leaderboard score from all 7 members will be our winning team, and safe from elimination this week. But sadly, we'll be saying goodbye to the finalist with the lowest leaderboard score on the losing team. Colton looks across both teams, letting the drama ramp up to its maximum. Without further delay, I'm going to announce the team whose highest combined leaderboard score makes it safe from elimination. And that team is Team 1. That means Inherit, The Bear, Null, Jerry, Black Magic, The Crush, and Summit will all be safe this week. Judges, a word? Rexford and Demeach turned to Rebellion, who starts things off. Team 1 worked together flawlessly to destroy Killick's submarine drill, and although the Ineffable was able to capture Speedy, Team 2 disobeyed direct orders and split apart to act on their own agendas. This is unacceptable when it comes to the kind of hero organization we are building. Hearing Rebellion's criticisms, how do you feel? Followers, so I shouldn't be penalized. Hopefully capturing Speedy will keep me safe from this elimination. This is very unfair. The judges are right. I'm just scared for my life in this competition despite this. Fucking judges are right. Rebellion's fucking right on this one. Like, I think even this Fame Monster, who doesn't have a great relationship with Rebellion, has to fucking understand. The judges are right. Like, this team horrifically schism. Just fucking, crumbled apart. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think the Fame Monster, not even he could be like, yeah, fucking Rebellion's right. Like, that just collapsed. This fucking team of newbies and fucking amateurs that we're on with in Team 2 just... No. No matter what, your team should have worked better together. Despite your successes, maybe you would have actually... Despite your successes, maybe you would have been able to capture Kulik if you would actually work together. Can I have Team 2 center stage? You, Scoundrel, Fumble, Stage Show, Lucky, Wintry, and Mock Girl step forward to stand beside Colton, all looking highly uneasy. One of you is about to have your dreams shattered. I would also like to remind everyone that there will be no more judges' saves or wild cards. If you are cut now, this will truly be the end of the road. So let's get on with it, shall we? That's right, let's get on with it. Colton pauses to make eye contact with each finalist. As he does, the crowd grows absolutely silent. The first hero safe with the highest leaderboard score on Team 2 is Lucky, with a score of 70. Lucky, how do you feel? Stunned. Lucky steps forward to answer. After being a wild card in the judges' save, then being on the losing team this challenge, especially after disobeying orders to go after Kulik, I thought I was going home for sure. I was actually preparing a goodbye speech when you called my name. I never expected to have the highest score. Lucky says, still looking shell-shocked. You have no idea how much this means to me and my family. I can't thank you enough. This is a perfect example of the fact that we're judging you all solely on your work in each mission. And while we're not thrilled Lucky didn't execute orders, she showed incredible initiative, took a necessary leadership role, and prioritized saving lives above all else. Yes, and that high score has also earned Lucky immunity this week alongside Team 1, but we'll hear more about that later. You should be concerned about what the meat chip means by that, but all you can really worry about right now is whether you're safe or not. I think this Fame Monster is pissed. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Even against, like, his best friend, whatever, fucking big little hero camp, whatever the fuck, first kiss, fucking summer dance, everything. That bitch was starstruck whenever those people initially came up. I think the Fame Monster thinks that he deserves to be first. Pissed. Second save finalist is Fumble in Stage Show, tied with a score of 43. This isn't terribly surprising considering Fumble and Stage Show followed the judge's orders faithfully, though it seems the fact that Fumble was field captain and failed to lead his team didn't faze the judges. We're thrilled the judges recognize our commitment to upholding the Hero Project standard, Stage Show says, stepping forward, unlike some of our other rogue teammates. As Fumble and Stage Show take their safe place next to Lucky, I mean, if I was pissed about Lucky, I'm certainly pissed about them. Alright, that leaves Wintry, Mock Girl, Scoundrel, and the Ineffable. I think it's going to be Scoundrel. Who displayed the, basically the greatest ineptitude. Who was like, fuck it. Just goes across the river on her own and just gets dunked on by Speedy. About damn time. The Ineffable, with a score of 35. You exhale, feeling relief pour through you. As far as we're concerned, the Ineffable was all over the board on this mission, Rebellion starts, but his mistakes were not as grave as those of his teammates, so he is safe. Whatever. You nod at the holographic panel of judges, just thankful to be safe. You then take your place beside Lucky, Fumble, and Stage Show. Feel to be a member of the final 13, no matter how you got here. From there, you watch the rest of the elimination ceremony, happiest to see no one. All that matters is my own safety. As Scoundrel stands alone in the center of the stage, you can't help but feel bad for her. She may not have really been ready for an opportunity this big, but then again, neither were you when you first started out. Scoundrel, how are you feeling right now? Colton asks, holding a microphone up to her beak. But Scoundrel just turns her head with her wings crossed, refusing to speak. She looks like she might even be holding back tears. It was a remarkable accomplishment making this far, Scoundrel Rebellion interjects. 14th place out of thousands is nothing to feel badly about, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you in the future. Well said, Rebellion, Colton says, making sure to take a few steps away from a now-shaking Scoundrel. Let's take a look at Scoundrel's incredible journey here at the Hero Project. As the holo video begins to play, you can't help but feel like someone was going to go home. And you're just happy it wasn't you. 5 minutes later. As Scoundrel is ushered off the stage, Colton calls the remaining finalists front and center. All right, America, here is your final 13, Colton shouts, welcoming a new burst of cheers. Before we go, the judges have an important announcement. Yes, we'd like to finally reveal that we've been cleared to give out several American Protectorate contracts to the winners of the Hero Project, Rexford starts. To be specific, we're looking for a final roster of 6 winners to be led by Rebellion, which means another 7 heroes will be eliminated throughout the course of the competition. And unfortunately, we'll be facing another elimination this week, the midship adds. The 5 members of Team 2 who did not earn immunity will be eligible for elimination by a contestant vote, the details of which will be revealed when you arrive back at the mansion. That means that tomorrow night we'll be losing another hero. Wintry, Mock Girl, Fumble, Stage Show, or the ineffable Rebellion finishes. I thought that was still the midship. But the American public will also have a chance to save their favorite hero. Please visit for details on how to vote. As Colton takes over and brings the ceremony to a close, all you can think is, Slugger. You're looking forward to having the night off, safe from the threat of elimination for the rest of the week at least. But now it seems you'll have to scramble for your life in the competition once again. How will this vote work? Have you made enough friends to stay? You suppose you'll find out very soon. Instead of leaving that there, let's take a look at the stats. Fame has gone back up. Lawlessness, offensive soloist seems pretty much the same. We are loved and we are popular. Now, although our love dropped a little bit, we were certainly popular, though. I think doing what we did there to take down Speedy. Yeah, we didn't unleash like we could have, but I think taking down Speedy was more important. Rebellion and Rexford both have improved relations with us. Lucky does not feel so strongly about us as she did, probably because we didn't go with her. And we were kind of pissed that she went ahead of us. Because of fucking course we were pissed. Because we're the fucking ineffable. What the fuck? We actually got something to show for our efforts. And, you know, Lucky's like, you mean all the lives are saved? I mean, like, well, since we stopped their grand scheme anyway, and the place wasn't flooded, all those lives would have been saved anyway. I'm the only one who actually accomplished anything of worth. That's... There's your fame monster, everyone. He's born to win. Or die trying.